All right, video time. So it's time for this beast, the Eisenhower main monument. Thing was a monster in 06. It's still a monster in 23. This time though, it's going to be a little more science and a lot less graph paper and pencils. But as you can see, there's a lot going on. So the quicker we get to it, I'm going to break this up into this is just about the main boxes. I'm going to have the panels. I'm going to do a separate video for the panels and the light bar. Obviously don't need a video for channel letters because you guys are almost done with them. But anyway, so I'm just going to focus on the three boxes, the three main boxes for this one. So let's get after it. So lay of the land, like I say, I broke it up into M is main, so main 1. So you have all your box parts for main 1, main 2, a little bit bigger box, and then M3, main 3 is about the same as M1. So the M2 is kind of the bigger middle part. Power box, we're going to go over that. Very similar to Eagle Mountain, kind of took that idea. The skin parts here, we'll go over the skins. Look out for these little skinny guys over here. These little fakey skins. Look out for those. You got jiggies all day. They are kind of numbered for which ones goes to which. So look for your M1, your M2, and M3 on those. And then, of course, your 1/4 inch. That's what I was saying, to get those routed first. We'll go over those. And then you have your mounting booties. So, yeah, let's get after this here. Let's just see for fun. Control A. What do I got? Select all. We're looking at 12,960 objects. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. So let's just work like we do. We'll work with the soft, gooey candy center before we get to the hard outer shell. So let's start with you're going to need those 1/4 inch pieces. So each of these boxes is going to butt up against, it's going to get a little bonk up against the other one. And then they're going to bolt together at these select locations right here. So you're going to have this 1/4 inch block piece, and you're going to have this 1/4 inch block piece is going to mate up against the corresponding buddy that's in the other box. Those 1/4 inch pieces will be welded to the 3x3 going down to the floor jack down there where they get bolted together. So you're going to need to weld up these plates first, which is why I said route these up. So you're going to have, for M1 and M3, you're going to have through holes. The bolts come through M1 and M3, and they're going to mount to M2. So 2 will have your weld nuts there. But basically, you're just going to take your faceplate, bonk it up against, and then you'll have your little braces there and there. And then you have your full long braces there, and then you'll have a crossover piece to give it strength. Go ahead and burn these up, get them all sexy. And then what you're going to do is I have, if you look for the C right here, I've got 3 or 4 of them. I got 2 on each side. That'll be for a 193 Cleco. And then the idea is that once you have these all welded together and you go to assemble your boxes, you can sort of just cold assemble them by putting the Clecos in there. And then you're just going to, I essentially have provisions to just frap them in. So you're just going to do number 10s, because the idea is that it's not important that these get super attached to the 09. The idea is that these get super attached to the framing, which then takes it directly to the ground. So you can see where like this 3x vert and this 3x vert will be doing the work once these come together, and they will then attach together as one unit. And then you'll have the full power of a Death Star fully operational. And that will then take, these two and put them together. So once you get this welded to this post really well, there's really no point in making sure that it gets super welded to the 09. All that's going to do is distort it. Now you can throw some tacks on there. Once you have this frapped to the 09, if you want to throw a couple tacks around, that's fine. But the idea is just kind of cold, keeping it in place where it's supposed to be. Make sure there's nothing under it. But when you burn it to the post, and then this actually gets attached to each other, you can see where, this plate matching this plate is where the strength's going to come from, and then getting it down to the jack, to the ground. So that's the most important part. But that's where I was saying we want to route these first, get these welded up first, because you're going to need these to assemble. And then same thing with the little floor jacks down here, the actual mounting points. You've done these kind of before. You're going to put these together, tack it all together, get it welded up really well. And then they're just gonna go cleco into the bottom. You got 2 here, you got 4 here, and then you've got 3 here. And then those are gonna shoot up through. And then once they get shot up through, then you'll have your crossbars here. So let's just take that to the cutting list. So you'll have 9 106s, and 106 is exactly what 106 in Park is exactly where the computer tells me to put it. So if you actually make a little bit shy, it'll give yourself a little bit of room there. And then you're just going to slide in, you know, M1, M2, and M3. These guys are your lifting points across. So now for M3, when you're putting this guy in, I basically have it kind of lined up with the 2x. So if you kind of line it up, that's fine. But what you want to make sure is you keep this clear, because this is going to be your Eagle Mountain power slide in area right here. So you're going to want to make sure you keep this totally clear. So do not let the lift point, the 54 on M3, make sure it doesn't extend into this area. Keep this clear. So anyway, so you're going to put those together. You have lift point cross ups right there to burn like we do. And then you're just going to burn these up really well. At which point you're also going to have your crossbars here. These 2x2s are going to slide in from the side, and you can see where they slide into the extended piece here, the midpoint. You're going to slide those in 2.5-ish, pointing out each side. This is going to be where the panels actually rest on. These are going to be doing all the work. And so when the panels go on, that's going to transfer load of those panels to the verticals, and then the verticals will get it down to the earth, and then hopefully the earth is strong enough to hold up this sign. That's where we're betting on. So not if it keeps heating up, though. It might just turn liquid at some point. Molten. So anyway, so we're going to do that. So you're just going to slide these through. You can see where they line up with the big boy, the big flanges there. So you'll slide them up, cross them up there, make sure they're equal where they're supposed to be, and then burn them up really well to the 3x. So you can kind of see where the panels aren't really going to be relying much on the 09 part of this. The panels will be doing work with the 3x and then getting it directly down to the floor there, to the ground, to the slab. So that's kind of the construction for all three. Like I said, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of parts because it's just big. I went ahead and put a homie here for scale. He's 72 inches. So you can see where this thing is going to be fairly large. You might want to make sure you got contingencies for moving these around. If you need to get, new moving pallet thingies, new dollies, that's fine, whatever. So once you have have it fleshed in, go ahead and burn it up, cleco it all together, get your frame in there, and then go ahead and burn it up. Make sure it's all nice and, strong, get all that taken care of. Then I think you're ready for skins. Yeah. So once you get these guys ready to go, now the skins will only be top and bottom. There's no need because the panels will hide the whole sort of middle part. So that way we're saving material, saving weight, and also allowing some airflow through there. So, and plus, install's got to be able to kind of get in there, so it'll make it easier. So you're just going to have these like top and bottom strips for skins. So they go obviously top and bottom. Just look, I've got them all labeled and towards the streets. So you have the hospital side. The hospital side will be the side that the panels kind of kick off like that. So this is the hospital side, and then this side actually faces Bob Heasy for those who are nasty. So you got Bob Heasy side over here. That's going to be the M3 side, and then the M1 side. That's why this just has this little dummy piece. You're just going to dummy in this like piece of skin right here. So keep an eye out for that. Because, but we need to make it, otherwise you would have 09 ho here, and then you'd have a gap, and then you'd have 09 here, and that gap would show up with the panel sticking off here. You'd be able to see that gap. So this is just a little gap filler. Make sure it gets lords down nice, and make sure it meets up nice and everything. So, okay, so I think that's it. We've got the plates here. Oh yeah, so M2, just to make sure, M2 is the one that gets the 1/2 inch nuts. They get welded to the M2, the middle part. So your through bolts are coming through 3 and 1. So these 4 here get the nuts. So, but yeah, you got your skins. You've got your seam skins here. Going to make sure that seam kind of disappears. Make sure it goes flat, because remember on M1 here, or I'm sorry, M3, you have this top skin, and then you have this side skin kind of wraps around. You see this skin right here, and then you come around to this bottom part, and then that's that skin there. So you'll see those 3 pieces. So we've done this before, so this will tuck in. I gave it a 01 sort of flavor, so you can kind of maybe just make sure that gets looking nice. That'll have to be bonded up, make it look really good. But again, just follow all your stuff there. Now, once you get these guys in there, we do have 5/16 riv nuts. So you have basically your 1/2 inch nuts are welded here. That holds these together. And then the side panels, again, that's going to be a video coming up, but the side panels are going to go on there individually, and they're going to be basically just like the agua, like Seki monuments you just did. So those blue side boxes, it's going to be the same thing. The panels will slide on there, and they're going to rest on the 2x. That's going to do all the work. And then install can reach in, and you will have 5/16 riv nuts in the framing here, all the way around top and bottom. And then that's going to actually pull it up against the sign, and then we'll be happy. So you'll have 3 on the bottom and 3 on the top. So again, install, you're going to want to bring your 5/16 by 1 or 2 inch and a half, whatever you guys fully threaded. You want to bring your 5/16 game with you, sockets, whatever, to reach up in there. And then also, once we get to the panels also suck together and attach to each other using the 5/16 and the riv nuts. So let's make sure we got plenty of riv nuts, but that's what's going to have to happen. You can do that maybe after you Lords, so Lords doesn't get in the riv nut, because I have clearance holes in the skins. I have 3/4 holes in the skins, so you can probably do that after. But the riv nuts will squeeze together both the frame and the jig. So that way we got plenty of strength. But you can see where all the jigs have the holes there for the riv nuts. So want to make sure you bring in plenty of probably the longer grip, and make sure you get, if you want to bring in another squeezer too, just to, have 2 guys being able to work on it together, and just hammer home all of these riv nuts. So again, each panel will get 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom, and then that's going to hold all that together. So again, there's not a whole lot. There is literally a lot of material, but these are just big boxes we've made before, so you're kind of good to go on that. So you got your top skins up top there. This will be for install. When you go to put these together, I think I already told you, you're going to have your epoxy studs there on the bottom. And when you bring these together, they're going to slide together. And then once they're together, you're going to be able to, you're going to do your 1/2 inch by 13 from the 3 and the 1 box. And you're going to bolt those together like here. I got that. So you're going to put those through there, and then they're going to bolt up to here, and it's going to be held together. I also put a plethora of screw holes all the way around for number 10, self-tap. And you will screw from the inside of 2. So I have the clearance holes on the second box, on the middle box. I have all the clearance holes for the number 10s all the way around. So you'll just shoot a perimeter of screws. Now you will have to get up top here and come through the top to shoot some of these top screws. That's fine. But you should be able to access all of these screws without a problem. And so make sure everything's kind of lined up lovely. Go ahead and cinch down your 1/2 inch. And once you get it to where you like it, you can, from the number 2 box, you can shoot into 1 and 3. The holes on the 1 and 3 box are too small, and it would do no good to shoot from this side into this side, because you have the 0.22 holes on this side. So you can see, I have it written here. You'll be able to see that once these are, don't screw from this side. Boom. Only screw from this side only. And same thing here. You're only going to screw from the inside of M2 out into 3. But that way you can secure it all the way around. Structurally, we'll have these 4 points to suck this together. and then we're good to go. Also, once the panels get on there, the panels will kind of have sort of a laminating effect as well, and they're going to be attached to the outside, and then the panels will be attached to each other. So we're going to get one big old laminated sort of pulled together structure once everything's on there. So I have full confidence this isn't going anywhere. So, and again, you're going to have to bring your shims and stuff to kind of level this up as you bolt it down. So, but I think that's all you really know for install. Again, I'm going to do a video about the panels coming up. So there's that. Now the power, let's talk about the power here. Again, this is just Eagle Mountain 2.0. So I already talked to you. You want to make sure you have your cord. You've got the 90s that are already brought in. We're good to go there. This gives us the ability to have 8 power supplies. I think we'll only need like 6, but we'll see. But I think we have upgrade ability. Not to mention, if we have to, we can actually make a bigger tray at some point, and we can add 4 more power supplies. I don't think we'll have an issue. So we have like a top main box, just like we had. It's going to be a semi-permanent box. That's going to be the switch. So install, you need to, all you need to do is figure out wherever the power was coming in the slab, it needs to get up here. This is where you need to be. So this whole thing lives up here. It is on the Bob Hope side, but it is what it is. But once you're in here, these panels won't be on, and you'll have full rain in here. So you can just run some conduit, but you just want to get up to this top box here. That's where that lives. So let's get back over there. So you can see that's the top part here, and then Bob Heezy's there. So you just need to get power from somewhere in here, run it up. I gave you provisions. I gave you clearance openings here. So you can run your power up through and just get it to this little box, just like you did with Eagle Mountain. Once it's in here, make your connections, you're done. From here though, like just like U-mount, we have this here. We have toaster style. You can bring this up and out. I have venting on the panels, so we'll be going over that, but I'm pretty sure we'll have plenty of venting. We'll be okay. I decided not to do the little lift vent thing because this was not going to be tall enough. There was a chance that you could see the vent from kind of far away. So I kept it down and hidden. But what you're going to do is take these 2 cross struts, and they say street, so follow that to this side. So the bump here, so the bump goes towards the street, and that's just sort of the resting point for the tray. So the tray slides in, and you can see where the flanges will lock into this part, keeps it secure. You have your handle and everything. The tray and the handle, make sure it gets all riveted together as one piece. So you take your top hat, you take your tray handle, and you put it onto these 3, and this whole thing gets riveted together as one unit, right, like that. And then that way this is all ready to lift out. And then you go ahead and put your 90 on this guy here, and you have access from one side. The 90 goes here, and you have access to the other side, so you can get in there with your tool and nail it down. And again, 6 feet minimum to make sure we can pull this out. And then the little semi-permanent power box goes in there with the switch and everything. And you can just frap that down to the holes right here, and then we're good to go. So that's it for the power box there. Again, very Eagle Mountain 2.0. So I think that handles that. Let's see. Got that. Mounting, make sure that's clear. Lift points for install. Went over how to put these together. Got your skins, all that. So yeah, I think you guys got it. Again, you can always hit me up with questions. I'm going to go ahead and we'll do the light bar next and the panels. I'll do a little thing on the light bar real quick and the panels. And again, you guys already have the letters out. We're already crushing it. So, all right, well, that's it. If you have any questions, hit me up. Check the